Hello and welcome back, you glorious, wonderful people. I'm Chris BWT, and today I'm having a very brief respite, a bit of a break, and opening a couple of packs. So what I went and did after my Hearthstone hiatus, spending a good 2 years just not playing the game, coming back to the game, I realised I have no idea what's meta, what's working, what's not working, and more certainly, all of my cards, which I've relied upon for years, have pretty much been rotated into wild. All my decks, you can kind of probably tell the meta. You can tell I like rogue, but you can tell the meta at the time when I stopped playing of draw rogue, shattered secrets, weapon rogue. I mean, what spammy things. Fan of knives is no longer a standard card. How upsetting is that? Is there an Edwin? There's almost certainly an Edwin. Edwin Van Cleef. How is he not? How's he not accepted anymore? Secrets, weapon rogue, the fun. Either way, it's basically no longer acceptable. I got myself the free Spy Masters Toolkit. I renamed it V2 after I made one small amendment to it. But this is the free deck which you get if you've not played the game before, or if you've been out of the game for a long time. So if you've never played Hearthstone, or you used to play Hearthstone and haven't played in a very long time, best time to come back because you just get a free deck. And genuinely, the deck, I've so far just played very comfortably to gold. I've then stopped then. I'm going to continue playing. The goal was to see if I can get to Legend. I now need to double check to see whether it's a monthly reset, because if it is, I started on the 25th of the month, which doesn't give me a lot of time. So I may have to retry next month as the proper attempt. But either way, I've lost very few games, count them on one hand. Won everything else straight to Legend, Gold. And this is the deck it gave me. It gave me a Legendary Quest. It gave me a Legendary Tenwu. It each gave me everything here, unless I already had it. Things like the SI7 Agent, obviously I had. Great Heart Sage I had. The only change I made was, which one were you? The Smuggler. I swapped out another card and I popped in the SI7 Smuggler, because dear God, the SI7 Smuggler, as soon as I saw that, realised it's just ridiculous. But either way, I've pretty much just been playing that. I don't have many other cards that are considered standard anymore. A few have just about survived and are on the cusp of being rotated out. So I went and I purchased the rank 1 of the Welcome Bundle pack, which is not quite as impressive as rank 2. It's £12, which granted a lot of people just don't want to spend, and that is absolutely fine. You don't ever have to spend anything in this game if you don't want to, but £12 I figured just to get back into the swing of things. I got 30 standard packs and one legendary. The legendary I got, I don't particularly care about, to be completely honest, because he is a warlock. I didn't properly look at him, and I've got to say, I paid for the standard pack thing, whatever it was called, last night, and the urge to just start opening them, obviously, and seeing what I got was insurmountable, but I managed to resist the urge. And this is the chap I just got. He calms down a lot if you just give him a turn. Fair. Battlecry, destroy a minion if drawn this turn. Instead, destroy all minions except this one. I don't like that card personally. Is there a way in Warlock at the moment to kind of fix your deck so you know when you're going to draw him? Because if not, how much can you guarantee you're drawing him before turn 6 first of all, or guarantee you're going to draw him afterwards, so you can actually play him on the turn? And even then, all minions would include your own minions, so you have to really build a deck which has your minions you're okay destroying. It just seems very, and then it's 6 mana for a 3/3. No. As a rogue player, if we exclude the extra buff, 6 mana for a 3/3 that destroys a minion, we have so many ways to destroy minions for a lot cheaper than that, so I'm not that impressed. Either way, we're here to open some standard packs, and possibly you, whatever you are, don't know what that guy is, but standard pack, for those who aren't aware, Hearthstone goes through rotations to prevent, basically, they continually release new expansions, new cards, mix things up a bit with new archetypes, new metas to try and kind of keep things moving and changing, so the game doesn't stagnate and get boring, which is smart. Obviously, all card games do this. The problem, however, is after a certain length of time, there are so many cards, truly bullshit combinations could exist, and it just gets to a point where certain combinations of cards exist, which means it is impossible to ever really do anything else, because those combinations of cards will always be there and they'll always crush whatever. Maybe it's a certain control archetype. Maybe it's just ridiculous aggro, aggressive cards. Who knows? Either way, it becomes unfair. It becomes unfun because everyone plays the same things. So they have to rotate them. So every year, I think, certain expansions that have come out a couple of years prior go into the wild. And you can still play with them in wild. Wild is a crazy place where all cards are basically allowed. And you can build ridiculous decks. It is quite fun. I will have to jump into it at some point. Again, being a rogue lover, if I go down here, wild cards, I have considerably more from back in the day. And there are some hilarious cards which have been, unfortunately, relegated into wild. Kingsbane being one. Eventually, if this stayed in standard forever, it would become stupid eventually. It's one of those cards which you can see eventually would break things. Potentially the poker hopper. It never quite worked in standard, as fun as it was to try. It never really kind of kicked off. I presume as well things like Edwin Van Cleef has been in the game right from the very beginning. It was part of the core rogue set. It was kind of the rogue legendary, which you would almost be given because it was just so, it may have been given, I can't really remember. But it got to a stage where because it was so prevalent, every deck, if you just throw an Edwin Van Cleef. Even it's got nothing to do with the deck. What do you do? Put an Edwin Van Cleef in. And people getting sick of it, so they moved it to wild and they've seemed to have replaced it with Vanessa Van Cleef, which is considerably less good, unfortunately. That upset me greatly, not going to lie. Either way, standard pack is basically a pack containing any cards that is currently in the standard rotation that you can play. It may be from the most recent expansion, it may be from an expansion, a couple ago, I don't know. But we know we can play these cards, so I'm going to start going through, seeing what the hell we get. And we always give it just a little hover to see if there's anything interesting. There is not. These are all kind of standard, basic. Thing is, I could be here for a very long time just reading through this because I don't know exactly what they are. This little chap, though. This little chap is such a finisher. I saw it and thought, that's expensive. I don't think that'll be that great. But in the rogue deck, I was given one of these, and holy hell, in certain scenarios, that's just, we play this and we win. Rogue decks try to get a good tempo going, so we try to always keep board control. It's the kind of standard rogue. So we should always have minions on the board. That's the goal. Which means we chuck this guy down and we just temporarily double 2 of their damage. This is expensive. 8 mana, power word, fortitude, power words. We do like power words for priests. Give a minion +3/+5. Costs 1 less for each spell in your hand. Okay. Yeah, if there's, I presume there's going to be a priest archetype, which they just continually draw. Drawing is powerful. You want to keep your hand as full as possible generally. Shoulder check. And an achievement. God, I am just so achievement-full. Shoulder check. Tradable. Give a minion +2/+1 and rush. That's actually, that could be good. It's hard to tell, especially with warrior cards. I don't know why. It seemed they're going through a phase where they were creating warrior cards which seemed really good but didn't work at all. They just didn't fit into the decks, the teams. There was lots of taunts for a while that just never worked out. That seems good, plus tradable, so if you don't like it, you just pop it back in your deck and get something else. Either way, we didn't get a single rogue card, and that upsets us. That is what we're hunting for today. Rogue cards. No rogue cards here. Draw an overload card. Shaman. I've not played a single Shaman since being back. Shaman has always been a bit of a lackluster, unsure class. I've had fun with it. There are some silly things you can do with Shaman. It's a good laugh. But it is very telling that since I've come back into the game, I've made the entire way through to Gold 1 without coming across a single Shaman. Not one. I've faced more priests. I've faced, I think, every other class. Not a Shaman. That's ridiculous. Paladin, Divine Shield, Corrupt. I still forget Corrupt. Upgrades in hand. After you play a card that costs more. That's cool. Again, 3/3 and taunts. That would, if you do it properly, an 8/8 taunt Divine Shield for 5 is bonkers. A 5/5 Divine Shield for 5 is not bonkers. Battlecry, Discover Secret. Probably actually very good. As weird as that is, that's a great card for a hunter. Cheap, easy 1-drop. You chuck it down. You don't really care if it dies, but you get a secret. Druid, I was going to say, for Druid that's fine because they have such a big board. They will always try to get a big board. They just play one card. Oh, I have 5 creatures. Bullshit. Multicaster, draw a card for each different spell school you've cast this game. Spell schools are new to me. They didn't exist not too long ago. I've stumbled across nature spells. I'm very confused by them, especially because it was in the rogue class, and what the hell's nature doing in rogues? But that's fine. I'm sure we'll figure them out. Cool. I presume cool. If you're playing deck with lots of different spell schools, if that's the archetype of a deck. Oh, we got one. We'll get that last. Grave Defile, Battle Cry. Copy a Fell spell in your hand. Fell, I presume, is a school. Piercing Shot. Deal 6 damage to a minion. Exit. Oh, I've been hit by that many times. Bloody aggressive hunters. It's good to see that some things never change. And aggro hunters that like to go face will never change. Wriggling Horror. Battle Cry. Give adjacent minions +1/+1. Yeah. No, I don't like that. I don't think that's good enough. If you think a standard 2-mana body would be a 2-mana 2/3. That's a fine body, and you'd ideally want something else on top of that. This is kind of, in a best case scenario, a 2-mana 4/3. 2-mana 4/3 in a best case scenario. That will very often not happen. It's a battle cry, so maybe then some shenanigans, bouncing it back to kind of put it back out again. Actually could be quite good in Rogue, funnily enough, because of shadow steps and things like that. Or cards to double the battle cry, but we'll see. Copycat. More achievements. God damn, I'm great. Poorly copied, but cool artwork, like that. Battle cry. Add a copy of the next card your opponent plays to your hand. That's quite cool, but your opponent knows you're doing it, so yeah, manipulating the way your opponent plays is fun. Maybe they want to play something because it's the best move, but they know you'll get the card, so they can't. It's interesting. Either way. Reconnaissance. Discover a Death Rattle minion from another class. It costs 2 less. Yes, no, I like that. Okay. I like that. It costs 2 less, so it's a free card. It's a free almost, we'll just get this through. If you don't know what to do, put this in and we'll get a random card. Generally, random cards aren't as good as cards you've put in your deck. I mean, you have a huge pool of cards and you've selected the 30 cards that are going in your deck. So if you get a random one, it's less good. However, Rogue has the classic archetype of playing other classes' cards, and there's kind of benefits to doing that. There's lots of cards which, if you've played other classes' cards, then your cards get an additional effect. For example, there's the whole Steel Rogue thing going on. So getting a Death Rattle minion from another class is pretty cool. That could be good. Death Rattle is also. I like Death Rattle. Death Rattle Rogue briefly had a big thing going for it, and then I've not seen any since. All I've seen for Rogue so far is the deck which I got given, the Quest, Spymaster Quest deck, and I also saw a Weapon Rogue, which was so funny. They are the only cards I've crafted so far, because they just, I mean, I beat him. It wasn't that hard of a fight, but holy hell, it was so fun to see that. Anything interesting here? Frenzy? One time. Oh yeah, no, we know Frenzy's been around from the beginning. Trade will repeat for each enemy minion. Isn't that just the bell? Ding. I think it was the bell. I can't remember. Maybe it had different stats, and it's different for. It wasn't for each enemy minion. Excuse me. Deal 6 damage to a minion. Excess damage hits your hero. Yep. That's just like the anti. That's so Warlock. Hunters like to hit your opponent's face, and Warlocks like to hit your own face, and it does benefit them. They have weird kind of mechanics that come from that. Warrior still wants to go taunt. Add 2 grunts with taunt to your hand. Yeah, I don't know if it's worked yet, because I've not really seen a decent taunt warrior since being back. Oh hello, we've seen you before. But I like the fact they're still going for it. It's a lot more fun to play against than a Weapon Warrior, which is just armor up, get big weapon, lol. Mountain Bear. Yes. This is both annoying. I beat the guy who played it, but also horrifying, because the noise when you kill those cubs, the shrill cry is quite upsetting. I don't want to kill those cubs anymore, and I am mortified whoever plays this card would do such a thing just because you're killing these innocent, cute little cubs which actually scream. It's disgusting, you monster. Plus, it's a bear. Come on, look at it. It's just a mama protecting its bear cub. Whirling Combatant, Battlecry Frenzy. Deal 1 damage to all other minions. That's still a thing in Warrior. Cool. Dealing 1 damage to your own minions is often good. Draw a minion. Give your minions and Frenzy. Does that not then do it twice? So, to all other minions, I was going to say, it doesn't hurt itself and then do that. That would have been quite funny. Either way, draw a minion. Give minions in your hand. +1/+1. Buff in your hand is a paladin thing. There was a whole expansion where you could buff the cards in your hand with paladin and possibly 2 more, maybe druid and warrior, can't remember. Either way, that was a thing. It was fun. It didn't really work too well, if I recall. It wasn't the top best thing ever. Doggy biscuit, fun, tradable, give a minion +2/+3. After you trade this, give a friendly minion rush. I don't think I'd ever play that, to be fair, but there are ways, I think. Maybe not. No, trash, whatever. And this is me saying who hasn't seen the meta or played that much of it. So for those of you who've been playing this for the last 2 years, and I don't know which expansion these cards are from, so this could be nearly a year old anyway, and it could be a god tier card, so suck it. It's trash. Absolute trash. Vibrant Squirrel. Well, you're a cute little kind of cartoon chappy. Death Rattle. Shuffle 4. Oh, I've seen you before as well. That is... I like that because it's a 1-drop. It's just a good... What do I do on turn 1? Chuck it out. Generally, turn 1, you just have to chuck out somebody if you can, and often you can't, and it hurts. Immediately, you lose tempo. So getting something out. 1 health is bad. Anything with 1 health is very easy to kill for pretty much all classes, but 2 damage. And this is just going to be kind of continuous additional damage. Again, for the druid class that likes to always have minions on the board. They like to just continue to get minions on the board, even if they're small. So that will help them. Seems strong, but I don't think it is. It's one of those tricks. But it's a demon, so maybe there's got something there for the warlock. Cavalry Horn. Death Rattle summon the lowest cost minion in your hand. Could be fun if you don't have any low cost minions. The lowest cost could be an 8 cost minion. That could be very fun. Is Death Rattle a thing in Paladin? Not that I recall. Oh, look at my shiny head. Overblown completely by my lighting right now. That's okay. We'll just glow. Glowing Radioactive Corporal. Honorable kill. Give your other minions Divine Shield. Meh. Dire Frostwolf Stealth. Death Rattle. Summon 3 2/2 Wolf with Stealth. 2/2 Wolf. Summon a 2/2 Wolf. For some reason, I read that as multiple 2/2, and I was thinking, well, it's not Wolf, it's Wolves. But no, it's just the one. Yeah, actually, no, that's good, because that is effectively a 6/6 split over 2 bodies. Death Rattle is good, so they have to attack it twice, and Stealth for 4 mana. That's quite good for a common card as well. That is quite good. I don't know if it would see play, but it's Beast. Beast helps. That feels like it could be useful in certain builds. Oh, hello, we have a rare rogue card. Wonderful. Contraband Stash. Replay 5 cards from other classes you've played this game. That has the potential to be bullshit in a fun, powerful way. It also has the potential to be rubbish. But this is what we're saying. Rogues like to steal cards from other classes, and if I've stolen 5 cards, and if they're particularly good cards, I play this for 5 mana, and 5 other cards get played. Those cards could cost 5 of themselves, and that's 25 mana's worth within a 5 mana card. Obviously, it's probably not going to be happening like that. It could be a 1/2 cost to you. Maybe you don't draw 5. Maybe you've only played 3 cards, so you only get the 3. Maybe you get cards you don't want. But either way, I am going to make some form of stealing rogue. Steel rogue. There's got to be a name for that archetype. Thief rogue, probably better. Makes more sense. No. Seed Cloud Buckler. Give you a minute's Divine Shield. Seen you before. Discover a spell that didn't start in your deck. Actually could be working for our Thief Rogue. This is a standard non-rogue card. But it could work in rogue. That's pretty good. Give your hero +2 attack this turn. Yes, I saw this. I lost to this. Not to this specifically, let's be clear. But this is the warrior, the weapon warrior I briefly mentioned. It was bullshit. I just died. I'm sure it's probably not that great against other classes, but rogue doesn't have any taunts, and rogue doesn't have Any taunts? Give me 1 second. Receiving text. Rogue has no taunts, and I just repeated that. Rogue has no taunts. Rogue has no healing, so we can't really deal well if things just hit us in the face. Hence, aggressive hunter and weapon warriors, weapon classes hurt. Leaf of Greed, draw 3 cards. If it's drawn this turn, this costs 3. Yeah, I don't like that. It's a good draw card, but I wouldn't rely on it. Fire Breather, 4 for 3, deal 2 damage to all minions except demons. Very good in a demon deck. Yeah, that's a 2 damage to clear. Consecration, an old paladin card which saw a lot of play, was deal 2 damage to all your opponents, so all their minions and their face. Really, you did it to deal 2 damage to all the minions, and that costs 4 on its own. So this is a 4 with a 4/3 body attached. Assuming, of course, you're not playing any. You have to play demons. We have our first legendary. If you're wondering why I'm hovering, these 3 are standard. This is a rare. See the blue glow. And down here we've got ourselves our legendary card. Bink, bonk, bink. Shard of Naru. I do quite like Priest, because it's often underplayed, and I'm a proper shill, a hipster shill. I like to play classes that other people don't play as much. I like to play Rogue. It is played semi-frequently by a lot of people. I don't think it's ever going to be the most commonly played, but it's, yeah, it does have some fun, stupid shenanigans. Trade Ball, silence all enemy minions. Yep, Priest likes things to shut up. Ice Revenant. Whenever you cast a Frost spell, gain 2/2. Is that good? I don't know how many Frost spells there are. If there are loads of really cheap Frost spells, that could be good. I don't think there will be. Maybe there are. It's probably a mage thing. Oh, hello. Poison! Yes! So I didn't actually make all the poison cards. I don't know if I made this one. I basically saw the concept and I crafted, I think, the weapons, because I did not want that rotating without getting it. Give your weapon +1 attack. Your hero is immune while attacking. Good. Just really good. I've not seen any way to put lifesteal on the weapon yet. Maybe there is. There is in Wild. There is. I've not seen that leeching poison, I think, in Standard. Mr. Smite. I like pirates. Rogue likes pirates. Rogue had a wonderful pirate deck once upon a time with patches and pirates that I forget the name of. Bloodsail Corsair is one of them. Why not? There was a Dread Corsair. It was a weapon pirate aggressive deck. It was hilarious. It was great fun. It pissed people off. I don't think this would make the cut. It does give it self-charge though, which is a big buff. The problem is charge is a mechanic which they rapidly had to withdraw. Basically, it's the concept when you play a card, it can attack immediately. It was prevalent in the early days, and very swiftly they realised that is not allowed, which is why they created Rush, because I guess the concept is you can play a card initially and they thought, oh, it'll attack other minions. It's a great way to get rapid ball control. Did they do that? Did the bollocks. They played the card and they went face, and there are a lot of very strong cards which you could then buff. You play a card with charge. There was a ball, I believe, like a 1-cost 1/1 with charge, I think it was. But obviously you have so many ways to buff minions up to turn it into a really high attack damage minion for really cheap. You just go face. It was just stupid, and they've since then kind of drawn back the charge. They actually had to nerf a couple of cards by changing the buff mechanic, or just removing the buff mechanic, I think, from them, the charge mechanic. This is effectively a 6/6/5 with charge. It does give your other pirates charge, but that means for that to be beneficial, you have to play other pirates on the same turn. Unless this survives a turn. It's expensive for what it is. Maybe it's good. Maybe it could work. I'm trying to just find any ways to make this work. I don't think this will be a particularly meta-defining card, but I can see in some scenarios where you can stealth Mr. Smite. You play it and you give him stealth somehow. That way, next turn, all of your pirates that you play will have charge. Yeah, you play other pirates this turn, but it's already costing 6, so at most, on turn 10, you're playing a 4-mana card charge pirate. But if you're playing pirates, you're being aggressive as fuck. So it's unlikely you've made it to turn 10, let's be clear. If you're at turn 10, it's probably not working out for you already because you need to win early. I don't think that'll see that much play. I could be wholly very wrong. I guess we'll find out. I will try though, because pirates are fun. Crab Rider. Ha! You're riding a cheeky little crab, you Murloc, you. Rush, Battlefire. Battle Cry. Gain Wind Fury this turn only. With Rush. Ah, that's quite fun actually. With a Murloc. With a Murloc, that could be good. That could be very good. The others, Taunt, Battle Cry, cost the highest cost spell from your hand, potentially, if the spells are good, I don't know. Silence all minions, we've seen this. Horde Operative. Copy opponent's secrets and put them into play. Won't work, won't see play. Unless a very specific secret decks become meta-defining, you don't see these in play, really, generally. Because a lot of the time, that's a 3-mana, 3/4 body, nothing else. Unless you can guarantee your opponent's playing secrets, you don't get any benefit from it. If there are lots of decks where they are being played, then that will see it, obviously, but it's just very meta-dependent. Warsong Wrangler, I've seen you before, I believe. Discover a beast from your deck. Give all copies of it +2/+1. Yes, this was hilarious. It can be bullshit. Hunter will play lots of beast cards. There are ways to replicate their beasts so they have more than just 2 of them. You can only have 2 of each card, but if you get more than 2 of them, then all copies get +2/+1, including ones which are on the board or in the deck. Quite fun. Didn't really work out for him. Yeah. Package Runner. Go on, boy. Run that package. Can only attack if you have at least 8 cards in hand. It's a 3-mana 5/6. Probably won't see play. Maybe some sort of Warlock control hand lock deck. Costumed Entertainer. Battle. How is that not a rogue card? Look at that. Look at that sneaky little rogue inside there. Battle Cry. Give a random minion in your hand +2/+2. Not bad. It's bad tempo. Tempo, the concept where when you play things, you want to gain control of the board. So if your opponent has a minion on board, they have ball control. If you play a card that gives you a minion on board and kills your opponent minion, you now have ball control. You've gained tempo. You're kind of running with it. You have tempo going. This is bad because the 2-mana 1/2 is bad tempo. Effectively, when you play this, it's good value because you get, in a way, if you think about it, it's a 2-mana 3/4, which is great value. But when you play it, you're only adding 1/2 to the board, which is low for 2 mana, so it's bad tempo. But in control decks may be good because you want the game to last longer. Run on. Oh, words are hard. It's very early. Battlecry Frenzy. Yes, we've seen you. Light Shower Element. You look very familiar, but in a different way. You're not the one I remember. Taunt. Death Rattle. Restore 8 health to all friendly characters. Possibly good. Possibly good. Unsure if it's good. Possibly good in Priest. Priests love to heal. It's effectively their way of taunting, staying alive. I get jealous because I can't heal. You know, what can we say? I'll have to dash in a second because food is on the way, and I do appreciate food. Epic. Epic. 2 epics. Lush Water Scout. Have to summon a Murloc. Give it +1 attack and rush. Possibly good. Murlocs. It's often hard to gauge Murlocs unless it's obviously broken, just because Murlocs always work with other Murlocs. And you think alone it's meh, but then all of a sudden, Murlocs, God, they've overrun your board. Marsha, who doesn't love a good mosh pit? Look at those rock hands. Give a friendly demon +3 attack and lifesteal this turn. Yeah, I like that. You have to have another demon on board, but 3 attack and lifesteal. Not bad. The next element you play costs 1 less. It's 1 mana. It will be played in elemental decks. Welp, bonker. Yes, bonk. I've been playing a lot of Elden Ring, and I very much like to bonk every boss I come across. A frenzy, an honourable kill, draw a card. I actually don't like that much though. You. That's not a recent card. That is clearly in the expansion. Just on the cusp of being rotated out, I believe, because that was there when I was here. And that is a very upsetting card. You play an entire deck, and he just goes, "No, they're different cards now. Stop that. They're cheaper." Legionnaire, give all minions in your hand +2/+2 2. Again, it's Death Rattle. 3 health for a 6 mana. That will get killed far too easily. That will trade. I have a 1 rogues. Sorry. I own rogue cards. There is a 1 mana rogue card. 3/1 stealth. I play that turn 1. I can play it anytime. That 1 mana card can kill this guy. It'll give all minions in your hand +2/+2, which is potentially phenomenal, but I don't think that will work. That is, again, horribly control-y. Give a minion +3/+5, +1 less for each spell. Yep, seen you. Torajo Brave, I think. He's got a totem. Destroy a random enemy minion. We're being text. Is the food here? Is the food here? The food may be here very soon. So I will swiftly pause. Hello, I am back. This time, as if by magic, with coffee. Pepsi Max is great and all, but this time in the morning, coffee is what's required. We will continue, though. We'll continue having a little look through. We'll move our bag of foodie goodies out of the way. And we'll be a little bit disappointed. We've got a basic rare. Crab Rider. That looks like Crabida or something weird, but Crab Rider. Hog Rancher. That's why, because there should be a space and a capital R. Summon a 2/1 hog with Rush. Actually, yes. Multiple bodies. At worst, that is a 3 mana 5/3, which is pretty good stats. We'd like a little bit more health, but it's over 2 bodies. So actually, not bad. Plus it's battle cry, which you can often buff up. Plus it could be seen as removal. 2 mana damage. Because this is a 2/1 hog with Rush, you can attack straight away. Not this guy, but the hog. So it could be a 3 mana 3/2 and deal 2 damage to a minion. Which is very close to an SI7 agent, which is 3 mana 3/3, deal 2 damage to an agent if you combo it, and that is used all of the time. SI7 agent's one of the best cards in Rogue. It's been around for years. It's possibly one of their core set cards. It's very good. So this actually seems very good as a tempo card, and we've been through tempo. That's a great way to get some bodies on the field and potentially remove opponents' bodies. So I like that. Canal Slogger, I think, have I seen one of you before? Maybe not. Rush, Lifesteal, Overload. Overload 1, Rush and Lifesteal. See, this is the issue. It's a Shaman card that has no idea what Shaman wants to be, because that's the Shaman's, other than Overload, Shaman's kind of archetype is not knowing what the fuck it is. Is it an aggressive rush or like a tempo kind of control board? Is it a control lifesteal? Is it totems? Is it spell damage? Is it taunts? It has no idea what it wants to be. I think it's kind of tempo-y, but doesn't feel like it. Achievements! Kodo Mount. Hi! Give a minion 4/2 and rush. When it dies, summon a Kodo. I don't know what a Kodo... I mean, that's a Kodo, I presume. I don't know how good a Kodo is, so I don't know whether it's worth it or not. If it's a really good body, cool. If not, not cool. Simple. Reflecto Engineer. Fun. Battlecry. Swap the attack and health of all minions in both players' hands. Bullshittery is afoot. Okay. Probably one you won't see very often, but one that could be very fun. It's just a way to really screw with your opponent. It could backfire very easily, but you could also build your deck around picking minions which you intentionally would love to have their attack and health swapped. That could genuinely be really funny. I don't think you see it very often. It's very specific in a weird scenario, but oh well. Vile Call. Summons 2/2/2 demons with lifesteal. It's 4/4 lifesteal demons. Oh, it's Demon Hunter. Ah, Demon Hunter is horrible. It's the random new class that they just added. I say just quite a while back. They added it now. It was bullshit then. It's bullshit now. It's just like it's Shaman but better, and that's weird because it's not Shaman. It's more like Warlock. But it doesn't know what it wants to be. Where Shaman doesn't know what it wants to be and it kind of half-asses everything. Demon Hunter doesn't know what it wants to be and it absolutely excels at everything. It has ridiculous taunts, big bodies. It has ridiculous ways to throw lots of guys down. It can heal. It can be aggressive. It's got weapons. It has spells. It's just bullshit. Absolute bullshit. I don't know how they've balanced it, because they have clearly balanced it. But honestly, when you play against them, it doesn't feel balanced. Even when you win, you feel that was bullshit. I've no idea how. I will lose games and think, yeah, that's fair. But I'll win against the Demon Hunter and think, that was horrible, absolutely vile. And any Demon Hunter players, you're vile. You should feel bad. Rant over Arid Stormer. Battlecry. If you played an element last turn, gain Russian Wind Fury. Like that in an elemental deck. That could be fun. Is Shaman an elemental class now? That could be good. I think there may have been an element archetype before I left. Maybe? Yes. Yes. Firewatch Post. I've played against you. Yeah, I did play against you. It was really annoying. I had to rapidly kill you, and then someone duplicated it or something. It was weird, and it was just becoming an issue. Possibly. Moonlit Guidance. Discover a copy of a card in your deck. If you play it this turn, draw the original. I like that. It's either dig through your deck to get a card, which is not great for 2 mana, but if it's dig through your deck, if you play it early, it's a free card and it's a draw, which is good. Maybe it's not as good as I'm thinking. For some reason I was thinking it plays the original. It doesn't, it just draws the original. No, I don't like that all of a sudden. It probably isn't bad, but I don't like that. 2 mana to gain a card which you may not want. Then potentially draw it as well. It thins it out, but... Is that the first golden card I've had? Hello. Is that the first golden card I've had? That's a rarity, isn't it? What happened to my golds? Wound Prayer. I forgot they existed. Also, diamonds, I think. What the fuck? I remember, back in my day, a golden deck was wonderful. Now there's crazy diamond cards. I don't understand. I'm old. Wound Prayer. Deal 1 damage. Summon a 1/1 hyena with rush. I quite like that. Ish. It's fine. It's fine. Galloping Saviour. Oh, what a glorious steed. Secret. After your opponent plays 3 cards in a turn, summon a 3/4 steed with taunt. This is the thing. I don't know what I don't know what steeds are in play. I don't know what secrets are in play at the moment. I don't know what's in standard. So when people play secrets, I've never felt more afraid. When you get used to them, you get used to what's allowed, what's talking about goldens, what's allowed. You kind of know what's probably going to be played just from seeing the type of deck that they have. I got an achievement. I covered it with my coffee so I couldn't see my achievement, but I feel like I've achieved something today. It's golden. It's a Glacier Racer. Glacier Racer is a hard thing to say. Spell Burst. Deal 3 damage to all frozen enemies. They are really trying to make freeze a thing, aren't they still? They tried to make freeze a thing a long time ago. It didn't really work. Maybe it's working now. Maybe it's phenomenal, but... I've not seen that much freeze yet, so I doubt that's the case. Persistent Peddler. Demon Hunter. Tradable. Death roll. Summon a Persistent Peddler from your deck. 50%. Okay, 50% of the time. Less than 50% of the time because you could have drawn them both. Again, that'll feel like bullshit. That's the type of card that feels like bullshit. It's a 4 mana 4/3, which isn't great stats. It should be a 4 mana 4/5, for example. But you have to deal with a 4 attacks, not bad. 3 is just on the cusp of being acceptable health. 3 and below is low. 4 and above is fine. 3 is just on the cusp, but once you've dealt with that, another one appears. That would feel bullshit. Because if this, in the best case scenarios, this is a 4 mana 8/6 split over 2 bodies, which is bullshit. It may not always work though, which is where it... No, but it's tradable. This is why it's bullshit. If it wasn't tradable, I would say it's acceptable. But because it's tradable, the issue is it's only ever going to work once. Because once you've used it... No, it doesn't matter. It's just such a good card. That's such bullshit. Okay, so... Right, okay, hear me out, surely. And I'm sure it probably doesn't see play and it's absolute crap. But that seems like such Demon Hunter bullshit. You... Draw one of them, one's in your deck. If you draw both of them, you don't get the benefit, right? Because it's only if one's in your deck. So either those are the 2 scenarios, or you've not drawn it, in which case draw it. Get over it. You draw 1 or you draw 2. If you draw 2, it's tradable. You just put it the fuck back in the deck and get something else. Tradable should be a benefit. This makes this even better. So you'll always be able to have 1 in your hand, 1 in the deck. So this is either this is a 4 mana 4/3 which then has a death rattle at 4/3, or it's a 5 mana 4/3 with a death rattle at 4/3, because either you have both or you play it and then you draw the other one before this dies, in which case every time you just put it back in your deck and you look to kill it. If it's your turn, you can look to kill it. The worst case scenario is it's in your hand and it's not your turn. That is probably unlikely to happen because boards trade so often. Minions rarely last longer than a turn. Bullshit. Absolute bullshit. I hate Demon Hunter with a fiery passion. That feels so wrong. Also, that looks a little bit like a rogue card, right? It's clearly stealthy, sneaky. It's got the green goo of like the daggers. It's utter. Ugh. So unfair. Tooth of Nefarian. I bet this is just meh. Deal 3 damage, honorable kill, discover a spell from another class. I mean, it's there for the discover, for the kind of thief rogue archetype. I don't think it's that great. 3 mana, deal 3 damage is not good. And it's not drawing, it's discovering, so you can't guarantee the value. There's better value because it's a different classes card, but still. Ooh, I'm not seeing this before. Ironclad. If your hero has armor, gain 2/2. Your hero will always have armor when you play this card. So it is effectively a 3 mana for 6 mech, which is obviously great, pretty good in an armor class. In a archetype where you're building armor, that would be good. It's simple. Hit it very hard. This has confused me for some reason. I presume it's a spell. Why has that confused me so much? 1 mana. Gain 10 attack and can't attack heroes this turn. Yeah. Why is this confusing me so much? What is it with this card that looks off? Have I just seen so few spells I forget what they look like? You can cast that on your minions, so... Actually, probably quite good to be fair, because a shit minion can therefore take out a tough minion, or you can only cast it on yourself. I don't know why I think you can only cast it on yourself. That feels weird. Something about it's wrong. Let's get these rares out of the way. Siege, dive, draw, rush, minion, corrupt. Give it 2/1. I like that. That's actually really good. It's 1 mana card cycle. A little tidbit for you if you're not aware. Magic the Gathering is the best example of this. In Hearthstone, you make a deck out of 30 cards. That's it. You always have 30 cards. There are some scenarios where you can kind of force your deck to have more than 30, blah, blah, blah. But generally, when you create a deck, you put 30 cards in it. You can't put more, you can't put less. Magic the Gathering, you can put 60 cards or more. And that seems like a lot, but Magic the Gathering, you have to put your own land in. Whereas in Hearthstone, you get mana, they have land, and they have to include that in their deck. So it's not too far off the same. But they can technically put as many cards in their decks as they want. And 99% of the time, they won't. They'll still put 60 in. Because the fewer cards you have in your deck, the better it is. You can have a much more specifically targeted deck. The more you put in, it feels like it's better, but it just dilutes the pool. Because if you have 100 cards, right, those cards will be in order. You can put them in order of best to worst, especially for specific archetypes. For an aggressive deck, you can have the most aggressive, the second most aggressive, third most aggressive, blah, 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 blah. So surely you'd want a deck of the 30 best, which means when you draw a card, it's going to be one of the 30 best. If you put 60 in, you could get the 60th best card, not the 30th best card, if you see what I mean. So generally, smaller, better, therefore draw, a way to cycle through and reduce the amount of cards in your deck is good. You're drawing a rush minion, which means you can guarantee it can attack something straight away, and potentially if you play this later on in the game, give it +2/+1. That's a really good card. I like that. That is very good. Cargo Guard. At the end of your turn, gain 3 armor. For an armor class, archetype short. Also, what the fuck, warrior? Why did you come? All I care about is you. My efficient Octobot. It's a common card, but look at this little Octobot. Mech Rogue briefly was great fun as well. There's some definite bullshittery. It had a couple of mechs which strengthened other mechs, which could get out of hand. However, this card looks like shit. Frenzy, reduce the cost of cards in your hand by 1. 4 health. It's a value card. It is a horrible tempo card, and I just like to see tempo when I play Rogue. Maybe you could add tempo by making your other cards nice and cheap. I would need to play it, but I could foresee that not actually being that good. It probably just gets dealt with far too easily without you getting any value out of it. Maybe it could work. Obviously, it could provide huge value. Oh, I epicked one by accident. Primordial Protector. All classes, 8/6/6. Okay, it's expensive. Battlecry. Draw your highest cost spell. Summon a random minion with that same cost. Yeah, that will be used in high cost spell decks. There used to be archetypes where they intentionally hit the biggest spell things and you just race there. Usually druids, they can race. They have ways to just race through their mana. They play a card which just adds an extra piece of mana, blah, blah, blah. And they can race to high value by losing tempo early for not playing things, but they can rapidly get to big minions. Stormwind Piper, after this minion attacks, you give your beast +1/+6. Yeah, I give that a investment opportunity. Draw an overload card. Shaman doesn't know what it wants to be, but it is. See, this is, I would say, slightly worse than the last one. The last one, 1 mana, draw a rush card, which is obviously it's dependent and you can never guarantee. But I would say, at least from a tempo perspective, drawing rush is always better than drawing overload, even though overload, ironically, is a tempo kind of mechanic. But the difference between the two, if you say they're roughly equal, is the other one had corrupt, give your minion +2/+1. This doesn't have that. They just shit on Shaman. Surely is that not just a slightly worse card than the warrior version? Reconnaissance is our rogue card. Discover a death rattle minion from another classic cost 2. Yes, we've already seen this. We did like it for stealing thief rogues and Mortian watch posts. There are different types of watch posts. This is thrown me. Can't attack after your opponent plays a minion, summon a 2/2 grunt. That's hilarious. That could actually be really fun. I could have fun with that. They just have to remove it without playing minions, or it's great value. Oh, we've got ourselves a legendary. And a rare. Oh. Also, just like my summer vibe. I'm feeling the sun's starting to come out in England. It's not exactly warm, but it's warm for England. So I've got some little summery kind of cards going on. Grimoire of Sacrifice. Destroy a friendly minion. Deal 2 damage to all enemy minions. Yeah, that's fair. That's quite good. It's 1 mana, deal 2 damage to everything. They love killing themselves, so that's not really that much of a drawback. Deal 3 damage to a minion. Your next spell this turn costs 2 less. See? That's really good. We had 3 mana, deal 3, and some other benefit, but this is 2 mana, deal 3. And it could just be free, because you're getting the mana back if you play another spell this turn. So potentially very good. I like that. That's quite a good card. Injured Marauder. Taunt. Battlecry. 4, 5, 10. Holy hell. Okay, yeah. I was going to say that's a look at the value of that. 4 mana, 5, 10. And it's Taunt. Christ. But it deals 6 damage to itself, so it's really a 4 mana, 5, 4 Taunt. And the reason that card exists is for Priest. There was a deck for a long time where you played a minion which hurt itself and then you cured the minion and then all of a sudden you're like, tempo. I have a ridiculously overpowered stats for my value. And they have cards which are free. 0 mana to heal them up, which is, yeah. And then there used to be cards where it doubled your health. And then, so it'll have 20 health. And then there's a card which said, set your minion's attack to be the same as its health. So it'd have a 20 attack, 20 health minion. That's what Priest used to do. I've gone against too few Priests to see if that's still a thing, but I think they got rotated. Shroud of Concealment. It's a rogue card. It's 3 mana. It's not 5 mana. That's a 3. Draw 2 minions. Any played this turn gains stealth for 1 turn. 3 mana, draw 2 minions. Isn't bad, to be fair. That's, again, it's great card cycle. Drawing 2 out of your deck is good. It may not always work because you may not have minions in your deck, but you will do. And if you get this on turn 3, You lose tempo because you're not playing any minions, but you are gaining. That's a good card draw. If you're playing it later on, you're going to be giving them stealth. The problem here, I guess, is 3 mana is quite high to then also be playing other cards with it. You would want to be playing this generally turn 3. If you're playing it turn 4, you can only play 1-cost cards. Only one of them, if you see what I mean. So turn 5, you start to get quite late in the day to just be doing this. This is probably good if every now and then you come across a match or a game where somehow it's turn 10, you've both run out of cards, or you have nothing in your hand, there's nothing on the board, and it's just shit. Whoever gets card draw first generally pulls ahead. And this would be great, because if it's really late in the game, you could draw 2 minions, and you could probably play them, and they get stealth. I don't think this will actually see as much play as I would have liked. But we're here for the legendary. It's a Hunter legendary. It's a 9 mana Hunter legendary. And we're achieving shit. Give me that. Oh, yes, keep them coming. Collector, tier 1. Yeah. Why not? Wing Commander Ickman. Sorry about your name, Ickman. Icky Ickman, I'm sure. He had a hard time at school. Battle Cry. I mean, this has to be good because a 9 mana 5/4 sucks. So let's see what this says. Battle Cry. Summon a beast from your deck and give it rush. If it kills a minion this turn, repeat. Yeah. It obviously has potential to be bullshit. Because if your opponent has... It doesn't even have to be that high of a value of beast. If you have a beast deck, you're playing against a warlock or a druid that just has a shit ton of cheap minions on board. And you just you draw a minion with rush, a beast. It charges, it kills it. You get another one. It charges, it kills it. You can just... That can sway the tide of battle. Here's the problem. And here I think is why this won't see that much play. It's a fun card. I hope it sees play. I don't think it will. And I'll tell you for why. Turn 9 is the first turn you can use this. It's already quite late in the game. And you get value from this if you're losing. So I guess this is a bit of a... I lost. If I draw this, I may win. If I don't, I lose. Maybe it's not so bad. It's better than win more cards. But ideally, you want to be winning. You want to have tempo. You want to have ball control generally, especially if you've got a beast deck. You probably have... you have to have a couple of beasts to make this worthwhile. Quite a few, because if you draw them, you lose value. So you probably have to have quite a few beasts in your deck for this to be worthwhile. So generally, you want to have a board of beasts for the buffing, for the beast synergy. And this only really works if it's relatively clear on your side. Because if they have beasts on their... If they have minions on their side, where we get value here, you probably have nothing on your board, because otherwise they'll be trading. Yeah, there's potential. I don't think it will be... It's not going to be meta-defining. It's too reactionary for scenarios where you're losing for that to ever build a meta around it. Hot Streak. It's free. Your next fire spell this turn costs 2 less. I've seen that. He used a fireball against me. He wasted it. He lost, I think. I can't remember. They all merge after a while. I mean, it's free. It's potential to use a spell sooner than you would normally use it, but actually that's an entire card. And because you're not drawing anything else, it's you want to have as few cards as possible, but you want to be drawing with them as well. So this is just on its own bad. I don't like you. But it's a fire spell, and I believe there are mechanics where you want to continually cast spells. Like, oh, if you've cast 5 fire spells, you get a fire dragon. I don't know. Something like that, which would mean that this is good in those scenarios. It's a secret. When any minion attacks, set its attack and health to 1. And it's attacking anything. That's a fun secret. Any sort of trading will wholly backfire. Death roll, summon a random 3-cost minion. Ah, okay, you're just like the mech, the 4 mana 4/3 summon a 3-cost minion, right? Or was it a 2-cost minion? That is just the old mech. There was a mech which kind of did that, and it was everywhere. It was good. This is probably good as well. 3-cost, if you think 3-cost with good stats is a 3/4. This would be a 4 mana 6/7 math. which is great, and it's across 2 bodies. Obviously, it may be shit. You could draw you could play a bad 3-1. Could also be good. Play a good one. Bit of luck, but Death Rattle, depending on how strong Death Rattle is at the moment, that could be good. Probably really good for secret decks. It's really simple. It's 2 mana for a 1/2, which isn't great, but it's an easy removal to hit for 1 damage. And you're drawing, which is reducing the size of your deck, which is good. And you're casting it, which means you're not spending the mana on it. So each of these is 1. So in a way, if you're getting like most benefit, this costs nothing. It's a free 1/2 draw 2. Yeah, that's pretty good. Demon Hunter, what bullshit is this? Throw glaive. Deal 2 damage to a minion. If it dies, add a temporary copy of this to your hand. That's a 1 mana, deal 2, and you can get a copy of this to your hand. So you could continually do that, killing things. It's a good way to clear the board. Of course, Demon Hunters also have a great clear mechanic. So if you have a wide board, you can clear them too. Of course you can. With Demon Hunter, you can do literally whatever you want. Bullshit. To be fair, it is. I like that. I would have that in my deck. I would always be running Backstabs in my deck. I say ironically because I'm not currently running Backstab, but Backstab's one of the best cards in the game. 0 mana to deal 2 damage to an undamaged minion, I think. This is the slightly worse that, but you can do it to any minion, and you can potentially keep on doing it. Feels like that's quite strong, to be fair. Depends on the deck, on the meta, blah blah blah. I'm such a fence sitter. Oh, more Demon Hunter. Bullshittery, I'm sure. Outcast, deal 1 damage to all enemies. 3 mana 2/2. If you play it out from the side, which you probably will. That's just the one you didn't throw. That's the glaive. That's not Dreadlord's bite. That's the glaive thing, right? Deal 1 damage. Ball clear. Yeah, that's a. There was a wonderful rogue card which got resigned to wild, which is 3 mana. Deal 1 damage to all minions, enemy minions. That's also face and draw a card. So we got draw a card. They got a 2/2, and they got to hit faces for 1. Ours got rotated because it was too strong, I presume. I'm not bitter, I promise. Harbour Scamp, oh you scamp warrior, draw a pirate yar. Knight of Appointment, I mean that's good. That's just, again, you're cycling 3 decks, it's a 2 mana 2/2 pirate, you want to have pirates on the board if you're playing that I presume, so yeah that's good. Draw a holy spell. Yeah, also good, again you're just cycling, it's just cycling through, it's just like turn 1 you're not going to put anything big down, so you just get this out to draw, that's good. Librams are still a thing. Libram of Judgment, Libram. Corrupt, gain lifesteal. That's a weapon, isn't it? In which case that's actually quite good. But it's corrupt on a 7 mana, so you have to play something more than 7 mana. Which I'm not so sure is good, to be fair. Give minions in your hand, +1/+1. Achieving things. Huzzah. Upgrade. I like that. For a warrior which can control and stay out longer, that could get strong. Ping, ping, ping. Harbour Scamp, yes. Gruntled patron. Not grunted, he's gruntled. 4/3/3. Frenzy. Summon another gruntled patron. Well, this is an homage, if we will, to... Oh, God, what was it called? Or, more importantly, what was the noise it made? Is this worse? This is the thing. Wow, what is it? Let me explain. Great old card, got booted out, obviously is wild. In Warrior, the entire deck was based around that one card, and that was a meta-defining card because it became one of the best decks in the game. Warrior would have a way to deal damage to its, like all minions, do 1 damage to all minions, your opponents and your own. Or you can just deal 1 damage to your own often and give it a buff. So you'd play this, and then before long you had an entire board full of them. And it's really hard to deal with, because if you try and kill it, but you don't quite kill it, they just summon another one. They were hilarious. What were they called? They were in the pub as well. Funny card. Yeah, that was a good card back in the day. Showstopper, Death Rattle, silence all minions. As a Death Rattle, it's not actually that great, because you can't control it as easily. Plus it's your own minions. Yeah, maybe good, but Doggy biscuit. Seen you. 9 to go. Can we get another legendary? We've been quite lucky with the legendaries, I think. With 30 cards, we've got a couple. Which isn't bad. Raise a boar. Summon a death rattle minion. That costs 3 or less from your hand. Yeah, of course. Of course it is. Of course it is. Because a 2 mana 3/2 already been relatively okay stats. Ideally a 2/3. But a 2 mana 3/2 is not bad. So why not, you know, be Demon Hunter and then also give it Death Rattle? It just summons another 3-cost minion, which is stronger than this. You pay 2 mana, you get a 2 mana and a 3 mana. Bullshit. Again, they're probably not actually that great, but I am very bitter against the concept of Demon Hunter. Because now they also have a Death Rattle archetype, because they literally do everything. What the fuck? Get a fucking, I don't know. Figure stuff out, man. Be what you need to be, what you want to be. Don't be everything, for God's sake. Demonic Assault. Deal 3 damage. Summon 2, 1/3 Voidwalkers with Taunt. Yep, the 1/3 Voidwalkers are classics. We know these guys well. They're in a lot of Warlock decks. Deal 3 damage. And 2 of those. So if you think 2, 6, 2 bodies, and deal 3 damage. It's actually pretty good value, but it will feel like it's not because 4 for dealing 3 feels bad, but it's actually pretty good value there. Hold the bridge. +2/+1 and Divine Shield against lifesteal to the end of the turn. Cool. If you have some minions on the board which are already been there, they can attack. You kind of heal, they get more damage. You don't die because of Divine Shield. You heal. Yeah, that's alright. The Lobotomizer, rogue weapon, honorable kill. Get a copy of the top card of your opponent's deck. I don't like that at all. No. 2 mana 2/2 isn't a wonderful weapon. I mean, it's slightly better than just hitting the button, which is a 2 mana 1/2. So you always have access to 2 mana 1/2. Having said that, Thief Rogue maybe. You get to see what your opponent has. You get a copy of the card. Having lots of cards is a big boon. It is a benefit. God damn, I achieve stuff. I finished my coffee. I will finish my Pepsi now. Frostweave, Dungeoneer, Battlecry, draw a spell. If it's a frost spell, summon 2 1/1 elementals with that freeze. Yeah, that's really good, I think. Obviously, if you're building a frost deck, which they really want, like I said, they've tried to push frost for a while, or freeze mechanics. It's 3 mana, 3/2, and draw, which is good. Drawing is good. Reducing your card size, increasing your hand size, it's good. Deck size, blah blah blah. And if it's a frost spell, which it won't always be, because I think even if you're going to make a frost spell deck, you're probably going to have other spells in there, but there's a good chance it'll be a frost spell. So then getting 2 1/1s is very strong. So worst case, it's okay. Best case, it's really good. That is a good card. What foul bullshittery is this? Yeah, it's the upgrade thing. And like I said, you know, demons kind of get weapons. This isn't even a weapon, but it's just, yeah. I saw this. This hurt me. There was a lot of demons on the board, and he played him. Yeah. It was fine. It's nothing phenomenal, but obviously if you're playing a demon deck, you probably have him. It's pretty good. Circus Medic, standard, 4/3/4, Battle Cry, restore 4 health. Corrupt, deal 4 health instead. Deal 4 damage. Obviously, the Corrupt, a 4 mana 3/4, which deals 4 damage, is great. So it's not bad. 4 health is a good amount of health. I won't say. I don't think we'll see that much. I've not. Yeah. Maybe in Priest, because they'd like to heal. Sindore, Scent Finder, Frenzy. Summon 4 1/1 hyenas with Rush. Yeah, summon 4 beasts with Rush. Not charge. Not charge of the hounds or whatever it was, which kind of this replicates. And it's a 1/6 body. That actually is not bad. They're low, but if you have an empty board and it gets hurt, it's a frenzy. It's not a battle cry. No, I really like that. It's unlikely you're going to kill that in one go, because 6 is a lot, and you're not going to be committing any spells that deal 6 or more damage, because it does 1 damage to you. This is not really a threat by itself, so you don't care about killing it immediately. You probably chip away at it, which means it'll be summoning that, which is a threat. I like that card. That's quite cool. Bit different. A blacksmithing hammer. Achieving things. Tradable. After you trade this, gain 1 durability. After you... Ah, that's cool. 4 mana 5/1 weapon is weak because you use it once, but if you keep trading it in a control deck where you want to keep cycling through your deck for as long as possible, that's really cool. Getting 2 durability as well. Damn, yeah. That is pretty dope. Pretty dope. Brilliant. 2 brilliant macaws. Repeat the last battle cry you played. The irony. The come on. That's a little bit on the nose because it repeated itself. Get it? It's fun. Royal Librarian, Tradable, Battlecry, Silence, a minion. Blah. 4 mana is too much to just be silencing 1 minion. Druid of the Reef, choose 1. Transform into a 3/1 Shark with Rush or a 1/3 Turtle with Taunt. Phenomenal card. That's just, you can choose. Either you're playing a 1 mana 1/3 Taunt or a 1 mana 3/1 Rush. Well, a 3/1 Rush is just deal 3 damage to someone. You saw those cards which spend 3 mana to deal 3 damage. This is 1 mana deal 3 damage to a minion. That's very good. Summon 2 minions from your deck, they fight. What the fuck? What? Summon 2 minions from your deck, they fight. They fight each other? Right. I'm sure there's scenarios where that works, but no. 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 Demon Hunter, I expected more of you. That's just weak. Raise main radar, attack a random enemy. Don't like that. You want to control your attacking. Defiance Cannoneer. After your attacks, deal 2 damage to a random enemy twice. Very, very good. Warrior with weapon, continually dealing 2 damage every time you hit. Yeah, that's good. You'd have to remove it very fast because that could hurt you. Discover an outcast card. Your next one costs 1 less. That's actually just fine. Again, it's card cycle. It's not bad. There's nothing phenomenal. For the strength, give it a random Dark Moon Mage Collector. That's me. Give a random taunt minion in your hand. 5/5. They love taunts, apparently. I wonder if it'll work this time. Who knows? I just think from a rogue perspective, that's getting assassinated, whatever they put that on. Summon an 8/8 elemental for 8. Repeat for each elemental you played last turn. Yes. Yes. The power. The power of that elemental deck. It's turn 8, but you can really plan for that. And just, oh look, I have a board full of bullshit. I like that. It is expensive, so it may not always be played or get seen, but it is good. Ooh, ooh, oh, we have you. That's a shame. But you're good. Yeah, you are good. I still have you in my deck. I think you were one which I thought maybe I'll remove, but it's helped out so often. I'm gonna keep him. Northshire Farmer. Choose a friendly beast. Shuffle 3 copies into your deck. Hard to tell. Does it cost its original cost when it's drawn? Because they don't get played automatically, as far as I can tell. They're just the three version of a beast you put in there, which you get into your hand and you have to play. So I don't know what happens with the mana cost of those cards. I presume they stay the same. Maybe there's some bullshit there, because if they're cheap 1 mana beasts with low bodies, you turn them into big bodies. But yeah. You used to destroy weapons. What are you doing these days? Death Rattle. Summon a 2/2 adventurer with a random bonus effect. Yeah, it's pretty good, to be fair. That's actually quite fun, because it's a 3 mana 5/4, which is good. Death Rattle. I like that. Sorry. At the end of your turn, deal 1 damage to all minions last 3 turns. See? Warriors like hurting themselves just as much as the enemy. Elwyn Ball. If you had 7 Elwyn Balls died. Seems fun, right? I played against a deck that was trying that. It didn't even come close to working. He died long before 7 Elwyn Boars died. Maybe there's a way that works. I don't think that'll work often enough to actually be that good. Cabal. 3/3/3. Battle Cry Throttle. Another random friendly minion 1/1. Yeah, okay, that's actually not bad just because it's at least a 3/4/4 on another minion. It's okay. Yeah, we've seen you. Elementals. And it's a cheap elemental, so remember that 8 mana. Oh, this is Shaman, so no. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with the Shamans and elementals. Maybe it's good. It probably is. It's a 3 mana 1/3. No, a 1 mana 1/3. Dear God, a 3 mana 1/3 would be atrocious. 1 mana's fine though. Draw a minion. Give minions in your hand 1/1. Cool. If you're a paladin, you have loads of minions in your deck. You need draw. This just continues draw when you play it. It's expensive, but it makes everything else better. I like that. That's cool. That'll be nothing crazy, but it'll hurt. And kills a minion, draw a card. Yeah, that's cool. Card draw's great. Nearly there. Nearly through them all. The hope for one more legendary, or at least a rogue. 2 Demon Hunter. 2 Invigorating Sermon. Give all 1/1 minions in your hand, deck, and battlefield. Fun. It's very expensive to immediately. No, it's not immediately doing nothing because it's on the battlefield. It's slightly control-y to kind of continually ramp you up, I guess. Deep Run Engineer, Battlecry. Discover a mech. It costs 1 less. Can be cool. It's 2 mana though. And it's not drawing, it's discovering. Yeah, maybe. Alright, the bullshit. 1 mana. Deal 1 damage to all minions, honorable kill, gain 1 attack this turn. It's actually, again, it's pretty good to be fair, right? That takes us back to Fan of Knives, which is 3 mana, deal 1 damage to all minions, to all enemy minions. Not just, I guess that's all minions, including yourself. I drew a card. You get gain 1 attack with an honorable kill. You're 1 mana cheaper. It's okay. If there are Demon Hunter cards which, like minions, which you want to hurt, like they get a bonus if they've been hit, Frenzy or whatever, that could be good. Otherwise, meh. Fell Rattler. Rush. Deal Death Rattle. Deal 1 damage to all enemy minions. That's really good. Again, Fan of Knives is a 3 mana, deal 1 damage. And this is a rush. So, a 3 damage, 2 health. We don't care about the health because we're playing this to deal 3 damage to a minion. And then when this dies, because I killed it, because I played it and attacked something with it, it does 1 damage to all enemy minions. That's really good. That is a lot better than Keen Reflex. And watch that never get played, right? Bumper Car. 2/1/3. Rush. Death Rattle. Add 2 1/1 Riders of Rush to your hand. Those 1/1 Riders of Rush will cost 1, I think, which for Warrior is not great. For Rogue, ironically, that would be quite good because we want 1 mana cards so we can combo everything. Warriors don't combo, so less good. Yeah, it's okay. I would probably see that in play, to be fair, but I come from the Rogue mindset where we love to have loads of cheap cards. So few goals for Ram Tamer. If you can control a secret, gain 1/1 in stealth. Yeah, it's pretty good for a. Oh, it's a hunter. Shit, for some reason I saw the gold and thought it was paladin. It's probably less good for a hunter, to be fair, but not bad. Summon 5 1/1 rats. 5 1/1 rats. That's a lot of 1/1 rats. Shit, but it's 4 mana 2/2. I just wouldn't kill it. It'll kill itself. Yeah, it's pretty good. Peons for days. Frenzy. Add a random spell from your class to your hand. Cool. Frenzy sucks. If it was Battlecry, it'd be great. Because it's Frenzy, it's not great. Claymore. Netherdrake. Dragons in Priest. Love that. Priest Dragon. Dragon Priest. It's the thing. Battlecry. If you're holding a Holy and Shadow spell, deal 3 damage to all other minions. Holy hell. Excuse me. Pepsi Bub. Yeah. I have no idea how prevalent Holy and Shadow spells are. If there's a lot of them, and they're easy to get in your hand, that's really good. 3 damage. It's a just wipe the enemy board, right? It'll hurt yourself, but generally priests don't care so much about building up a board as other classes. Generally. Maybe it's good. It feels good. It does feel pretty strong. No more legendaries. Last pack. Oh, don't know if this is good or not. Not going to read the text yet, but look at this guy, a lone shark, and it's a shark with a grin like that and some just his wares on his back. That's the coolest card ever. I'm putting it in my deck no matter how bad it is. We'll get to it in a second though. We're going to end on that beauty of a card. I've still not looked at anything there. Wind Chill. Freeze a minion, draw a card. It's Shaman. Do Shamans try and do freeze now? Mages do freeze. Do Shamans do freeze? We don't know, because Shamans don't really do anything. They're just confused. Poor confused Shaman. Having said that, it's actually a really good card because it's a 1-mana draw card. It's just a cycle and it stops something else for a turn. It's just, in a way, it's prevent damage. It could be seen as a heal. If the enemy has a board, that's kind of preemptively preventing the damage, which is good because it's kind of like a heal. It's as if they did the damage but healed it. And it's draw cards. So that's actually quite good. Anything which is 1 mana draw a card will be good just because it's cycling through. It's 1 mana. In the grand scheme, we don't care about that. That's cheap. Often you find on turn 5 you want to be spending 5 mana. Sometimes, quite often, you'll spend 4 mana and think, shit, the best play is to play this 4 mana or this 3 mana and a 1 mana, you know, and not have anything left over. So you just chuck in the extra one here to cycle through. Furious Howl, draw a card, repeat until you have at least 3 cards. Pretty cool, I guess. I don't like that, but I think it's probably good. Because this is good if you have an empty hand. But if you have an empty hand, it hurts. So I wouldn't want to have this card. Clearly it's a scenario where... So the thing is, to put this in your deck is designed to just play cards rapidly, and there may not be that much draw, which is why you'd need this, because you're often without cards in your hand, right? But in those scenarios, every time you don't draw this, it sucks, because you don't have anything in your hand, and if you're not drawing this, you have no easy way to fill your hand. And if you have other cards which fill your hand easily, this will never have value. It probably will see play, because it's 2 mana draw, potentially 2 or 3, which is great. It will probably see play, but meh. Best in Shell. What a wonderful little card this is. It's 6 mana. It's expensive. You can trade it. Tradable. Summon 2/7 Tales of Taunt. What alliteration. Love that. Yeah. 2 mana for 14 Taunt over 2 bodies. 6 mana for 14, I think is what I said, over 2 bodies. I like that. That's actually quite cool. If you really want to slow and control, 7 is hard. 7 health is hard to kill. Shiver their timbers. Yeah. 1 mana, deal 2 damage to a minion. If you control a pirate, deal 5 damage instead. That would be fantastic. Again, backstab, which was 0, deal 2, was always played. There are other benefits because rogues like cheap cards, but even so, 1 mana deal 2 isn't phenomenal, but it's actually not bad. 1 mana deal 5 is phenomenal. But we'll obviously finish this entire run through of the cards I've got. Oh, and secret bonus deck. Don't know what that's from. Maybe it's from the quest, the little road, quest road. So I'll open that in a second as well. Either way, Lone Shark. It's a 3 mana 3/4. It's a beast. I don't really care so much about beasts, but it's a thing. Battle Cry. Give your opponent a coin. Death Rattle. You get 2. Yeah. So in a way, they cancel each other out, and you get 1 coin, which is 1 mana. So it's a 2 mana 3/4. I think I like this. I can see there being a Death Rattle rogue deck where you have Death Rattles. I need to see and understand what other mechanics rogues currently have for Death Rattle. In the past, you could copy Death Rattles. You can make Death Rattles trigger twice. In these scenarios, this is great. The reason I do quite like it is because a coin on a rogue is more valuable than a coin anywhere else. rogues get the most value out of coins. Because for everyone, a coin is 1 extra mana. For a rogue, a coin is 1 extra mana plus combo enablers. Lots of things require you to play something first, and you can always play the coin for free. So you can always trigger combos. So that is better than a 2 mana 3/4. Again, what I'm doing is taking away the mana because I've effectively spent the coin on it. I really like that. I think it's a death rattle, so you can't as easily control it. If the you get 2 was the bonus, the battle cry, sorry, that would be overpowered. Is a death rattle, it's not overpowered. But I really quite like that. Again, I need to see what other death rattle mechanics there are. That was me opening 30 standard packs. I even had to look up what standard was, because back in my day, there was no such thing as a standard pack. There was the basic core decks, which were blue, I think. And obviously, after a certain point, you've got them all, and you don't get that deck anymore. Well, you used to get them for free, just giving them. So actually, if you get given the red ones now rather than the blue ones, the standard packs instead of the basic packs, that's better. Because that's going to always be changing. There's always going to have some value there. I approve. I've got a couple of legendaries. I'll have a quick jump back into my rogue to see what I got, see what I didn't get, because I want to get some good rogue cards. But I first want to see what this is. I didn't buy you. I presume I unlocked you from something. You banana vendor. Yes, add 2 bananas to each player's hand. Hilarious. I love it. And again, much like a coin, a banana is more valuable in a rogue than anywhere else. Banana costs 1. I think a banana is a 1-cost spell that gives a minion +1/+1. It's pretty simple. But it's a 1-cost spell, which is great for comboing things. I think that's hilarious, especially if your opponent has 8 cards in their hand, and then you give them 2 bananas. Then when they draw, you can only have 10 cards in your hand, so they burn a card. That could be good in a draw deck, just to kind of force your opponent, a draw like forcing your opponent to draw cards. Plus, it's a banana event. Look at them. What a cheeky monkey. Love that. The art, everything. Good fun. 3 mana 2/4. Yeah, screw it. I like that. We've seen you before. You're just fine. Pretty good. Bowler shot. Deal 1 damage to a minion and 2 damage to its neighbours. Pretty good, actually. Obviously, it's reliant on your opponent having more than 1, and ideally more than 2 minions, but that's pretty good. That's in a way, deal 2 damage, 2 mana, deal 5 damage. You, Demon Hunter, you, rare. All classes, a runaway Blackwing. 9 mana, 9/9. Holy hell, that is expensive for a 9/9 body. You would never play a 9 mana just for a 9/9 body. Why? 9 body, 9 attack is great, but someone plays a 9 mana, 9/9 against me, I'm assassinating it, probably for free. Or I'll bounce it, or I'll do anything. He's not staying in play, he's going to get removed rapidly. Some classes obviously can't deal with 9 health bodies quite as easily, but screw it, he's not lasting. Unless, at the end of your turn, deal 9 damage to a random enemy minion. There we go. It's shit Ragnaros. Ragnaros, back in today. Is it shit Ragnaros, or is it better than Ragnaros? How did Ragnaros work? Wasn't it an 8 mana 8/8 which did 8? And this is 9 mana 9/9 which does 9. I would actually rather the 8 mana 8/8 which does 8. 8's a much better number than 9. It's weird. Largely because you can play it sooner, but also 2-cost cards are in effect twice as good as a 1-cost card. So if I play this and a 1-cost, I would probably get much more value playing an 8 and playing a 2-cost. Because a 9/9 versus an 8/8 is not that much of a difference. Either way, actually quite good. It can't go face. That's the main reason it's not as good as Ragnaros. Ragnaros could deal 8 damage to face. So if they haven't got a board, you play the 8 mana Ragnaros, and it would do 8 damage to the face. That's huge. That's practically a Pyroblast, right? Which is a 10 mana, deal 10 damage. That's not far off it. Plus you get an 8/8 body. This is like that, but it doesn't go face. It can only deal 9 damage to minions. You don't control the minion. This is nowhere near as good. It is actually quite fun. And then maybe some crazy control, maybe priest control dragony decks where you're always going to try and last out that long. It's hard to deal with in 9 generally for most, not for Rogue it's not, but for most it's hard to deal with. And continually having 9 damage dealt to your minions would suck. Yeah. It's fun. I can see it being played in some fun decks. I don't think it's that good, though. And there we have it. There we have the wonderful starter welcome back pack. I've got some exclamation marks. I need to... Oh god, we could be here for a while, right? Or I need to just get rid of those exclamation marks. It's fun that I can see that going up there. Stop it. Ah! Look at this little guy. Whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa. What I want to see is all of the rogues to be 4 out of 4s. On everything. Barons. Dark Moon. That was it. So I in theory just got cards from Alterac Valley, Stormwind, and the Barons. Cool. Cool. Tight. Simple. I'm going to obviously be playing a boatload more Hearthstone. I'm going to be playing a boatload more Rogue. The goal is still to try and rapidly run to Legend. I don't think there's enough time in the month, unfortunately, but next month, dear God, next month. I got to 10 pretty fast, to gold very fast, just with this pretty basic Spy Masters toolkit. It was the free one. I made one small change. Keep an eye out, though, because I'm going to be uploading more. I'm going to be rapidly running as fast as we can to Legendary, because where we belong. Been Rogue, the Legendary Rogue that this class is the best. Demon Hunter is the worst. And Shaman no one cares about. It's a shame. Oh. Appreciate you watching as always. I'm CrispyWT. Please do give the video a like. I would appreciate that very much. It requires no effort on your part, so stop being lazy. Literally, it's laziness. Don't lie. You're being lazy. Click like. And subscribe because it's just fun. Appreciate it. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.